and thank you for coming to Trash Talks. I'm Hannah Tighe, and I started the show a little over a year ago, and basically comedians are going to give a presentation on something that they love. They're going to present, and then at the end, you have the opportunity to ask them questions because they're experts. And so we're gonna be up here talking, and so if you can keep the bar chat down, that would be great, because this is gonna be kind of a long show, because we have a lot to talk about. Okay, so I'm Hannah Tighe, like I said, and my show, my Trash Talk, is on the only show that matters on Friday night. It's raining, you just got off work, and you're ready for a little down-home murder. I'm talking about Dateline. Next slide. Dateline. It's been on, you don't know about it, but your mom does. That's how you found out. I used to know about Dateline because my mom would watch it on a Sunday. She'd watch the DVR, she'd watch the recording, and she would sleep like a little baby while they talked about rape and murder. And I was like, Mom, what's this? And the thing is, the catchphrase is called, do not watch alone. I wasn't, I watched it when she was sleeping. Next slide. All right, so there are 28 seasons of Dateline. And and there are several different like mini-sodes, like there's Dateline Mystery, and then each season has around 19 episodes, so that's roughly 530 episodes. And as long as there's murder, there will always be Dateline. Next slide. So, you may ask, how do I watch Dateline? What can I do during Dateline? That's me watching Dateline. You'll notice, gray t-shirt, gray sweatpants, just a beanbag body. No idea what's happening here, but a lot of Thai food. And I got off work and I was like, you know what I want? Down-home murder. That's what I want. Just me time. Just ready for me. Next slide. Every Dateline starts off the same. They pan over a city. You'll hear Keith Morrison. Sometimes there's a church choir. And they say, it was just a small town. You could leave your door unlocked. Nobody suspected a thing. And then it's like, they were God-fearing people. It didn't matter. No, nothing bad ever happened here. It was safe. Next slide. And then every Dateline has this woman, the divorced young mom. And they show 4 photos of her over and over, and they say, she lit up the room. She didn't know a stranger. She was everyone's favorite. I just love Janelle. Next slide. Enter bad guy husband. He always appears like in her divorce. They meet at a bar, they meet at work, they meet on a boat. There's lots of boats in Dateline. And everybody says, there was just something about him that I didn't like. Well, that was murder. Next slide. And then they have family portraits. They have several family portraits, and I say several, it's 3, and they show them over and over and over. And they just say, they were one big happy family. No one knew what happened behind closed doors. Next slide. Family portraits zoomed in. Zoomed in on the mom. And then they always say, she loved being a mother. She did. Next slide. There's always a life insurance policy. I'm telling you guys, never sign one. Never sign a life insurance policy, and if you're dating someone who wants you to sign one, you're gonna die. Like, you think you're going kayaking? No! They have unscrewed the nail and they're gonna drown you in that lake to get the life insurance policy. And it's always some like crazy amount. Like, it's always like $500,000, and they're like, yeah, sure, I'll murder Keith. Sounds about right, yeah, I'm gonna do it. They always get caught. So like, if somebody ever asks you to sign a life insurance policy, like on a second date, don't do it. I'm telling you, like, I don't care if he's a doctor. They're always doctors. Next slide. This is the friend. This is the best friend, and this is her time to shine. And she probably works at like a chiropractor's office. You know, she was at your middle school, she was a secretary, and she says, there was just something about him I didn't like. And it's like, yeah, if you knew, Karen, pick up the phone, dude. Like, tell her to leave. What are you doing? She's your best friend. All right, so side note, for this photo, I literally Googled Olive Garden woman. Because that's the type of woman that goes on Dateline, because it's their big break, but like, they're not getting paid, but they put on like their best chunky jewelry. They're like, I'm gonna go and tell Karen's story. But they make it all about them. It's all about them. So dramatic. Next slide. Oh, this is good too. There's always a cop who just used his instincts. He just knew something was up. And they always talk like after they want a lawyer. They trick the people. Just ask for a lawyer and get out. Next slide. Oh, this is gold. In some episodes, they'll get to the prison interview, but you don't know they're in prison until the end because they only interview from the neck up, but you can still see like the blue t-shirt under the blue collar, and then you'll see like the cinder block wall with the one painting, and you're like, oh, this guy's in prison for sure. I knew. And they always have terrible eyebrows, like terrible prison eyebrows. Doesn't matter the gender, bad eyebrows. Next slide. Then at the end, it's always like the family doing normal things. They're sad about their mom, they're sad about the wife, but then they go for walks, they go for beaches, like they hang out. And then like the daughter will say, everybody says I look like her. I have her laugh. I wish I could see it. Next slide. So here are some things like that I have you guys here for. So if I ever go missing or somebody murders me, these are 3 Dateline approved photos. You'll see there, I was, she was everyone's favorite. Next slide. That's a good one. Oh, the ankle, god damn it. The way that looked like okay. That's not flattering, but trust me, that's a flattering photo, but the sheet makes me look like a melted lava lamp. Oh my god. Okay, but it says she was so loved. All right, next slide. Oh, look at me, look at I'm so cute. I hike. Like, I should have asked her out when I had the chance, is what a guy will say. Next slide. She had it going on, I just never told her. Look at me just hanging out with a mini pony. I'm fun, I'm wild. Remember me as I was. But I can't talk about Dateline without getting to the real part, the real thing that I'm always there for. Next slide. Keith Morrison. I'm sorry? I'm in the wrong room. Like, I was like geeking out about this. He is the godfather of true crime. He will get the story from anyone. He has like such a stoic face that he will get people crying and sobbing, and he has like a nightmare voice also. Like he'll be like, they opened the trunk. It was my mother. Like, I mean, he doesn't falter, he doesn't miss it. But this guy, he can get it. Next slide. He can get it! Look at him! Keep just leaning. Keep his leaning, leather jackets. Next slide. And like, look at him kicking it in a leather jacket. He just leans on everything. He doesn't give a shit. Next slide. There he is again, a brown leather jacket. Next slide. Okay, blazers. He can rock blazers too. Next slide. Honorable mention, Josh Mankiewicz. He is like the Polly Walnuts of Dateline. He doesn't take it. He knows when people are lying and he will call them out. And it is great. He's like, well, I know you're lying. And they're like, yeah, I did it. I shot my mom in the face 42 times. And he's like, well, arrest him. Let him up. Next slide. The presentation is over, but who can really know? That's how every Dateline knows. So. I expected an applause for Keith Morrison, to be honest. I'm a little hurt. All right, I will open the floor to some questions now. Yes, you with blue hair.
Yes. Would you approve of a minority woman giant show, or is this an exclusive white woman?
Good question. Thank you. It is predominant, like it's pretty white because we get ourselves in those pickles. And I will tell you, it's a lot of like the best date lines are like the teens, like prom queens, or doctors. And then they're usually all white and dumb. And if there's a boat too, it's a white person. So next question. Yes.
Brown jacket or black leather jacket?
Thank you. I did kind of like the spice of his brown jacket. I liked the cut of it. I think he prefers the black, but I like the brown. Keith, brown. I like brown. Anyone else? Yes.
If he walks through the door right now, what do you say?
Oh my God. I just started sweating. Like, who got murdered? Like, why are you here? Can I sit and know everything? Can I follow you around? Can you narrate my life? Yeah. Also, how'd you get here? Why are you in plasma? I have a lot of questions, but mostly about like murder, best murder, missing people. That one's a fun one. Yeah. One more. No more. Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Well, how do you feel about 2020? I ride for Stone Phillips. So.
I'm sorry. 2020 is cool, but obviously I did all in Dateline, so I think the reals know. Yeah, that's a cool job, though. I have lots of questions for you. Okay, so thank you so much. Let's keep it going for our next presenter. Next up.